Good afternoon, Andrew. Good afternoon, Tajiras.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's good to have you.
Thank you very much.
We were just discussing, what was said by Kennedy Kamba from the PF and also what was said by Gary Nkombo about the confidence that the two political parties have ahead of the polls next year. How confident are you as the DP in scoping 2021?
We are winning the elections. That is already known. We are winning the elections.
Okay.
Automatically, what we need to understand again is not about you talking to the public to say we're winning elections and this. It's about the works that you are doing on the ground.
Okay.
And, whenever you are doing certain work on the ground, you have to be sure of the results that you are going to get. And for me, I'm confident that we have worked so hard. And looking at how things are moving, we are confident that we are winning the elections.
Even if the elections were held tomorrow, the DP would scoop the election.
We win the elections. Even tomorrow, even if today, right now, by this hour, we can still do that.
Well,
Andrew,
it seems because I'd ask a similar question to different political parties. I asked the same question to Nara President. He's confident that he's going to win elections. I asked the same question to Kambwili. Says he's going to win the elections. All of you, the opposition, win. Is it because maybe you're going to come together, and that's the reason why you're overconfident as the opposition, or you're confident on your own as a party that 2021 is certainly ours?
From the information that I have, the party, which is Democratic Party for now, look, what we need to be understanding as a nation once again, it is not the issue of talking about the alliance. I think that's where we are going by merging so that we stand and, of course, against the PF.
My question is premised from the fact that the entire opposition parties are saying that they'll win 2021, and my question is premising from there to ask whether is this confidence coming from the fact that your opposition, all of you, will come together and fight this PF? Or certainly...
Basically, the way I'm going to answer that question is, there is what we call work input equals to work output. And basically, I cannot know the work that the other political parties have put in order for them to scoop the next year's elections. What I can only testify about, it's about the work that we have managed to put in place, which will make us to win the elections next year. That is the only thing that I can say here. Look, and we don't have to rely in other political parties to say we are going to win elections because of this political party. We are going to do this because of this political party. No. A political party is built on principles. We have got different manifestos, and in the way we are going to win our elections, it will be dependent with how we have managed to explain our manifesto to the people of Zambia, how we have managed to put up this country.
Mr. Lazarous, when you say how you've managed to explain issues, or how you managed to give your manifesto to the people of Zambia, I'll ask you a simple question. Do you have the actual structures in these parts of Zambia? For example, how many by-elections have you participated in, and why have you not, if you are with the people?
The question I'm going to answer you is in this way. The book of knowledge, which is the Bible, it tells us that we walk by faith and not by sight. That is the Bible says. No, let me answer the question. I don't want you to be cutting me because you are going to bring up another question there. So, we don't walk by sight. We move by faith. No by-election should be able to distract your vision, if you are getting me. Even when you are walking, if you are throwing a stone to every dog that barks at you, you can't reach your destiny. That is what you have to understand there. So now, when you are saying that we are not participating in any by-elections, we are aware that we are not participating. But the question that I need to ask, or the answer that I need to give you is, we are not doing that because we are preparing for next year. That is the answer I'll tell you. We are preparing for next year. Let me tell you something. PF is in government right now. UPND has got half of the MPs in this country, if we can put it in that way. Now, does it mean that the people of Mazabuka are not suffering from the challenges of the PF? They are doing that. Does it mean that the people in Livingston, the people in different constituencies which are being led by the opposition are not facing the same sufferings? They are. But are we going to question the intelligence of those MPs to say why are the people suffering in this constituency? It's because the problem that has been caused by the many political parties, which is the PF, which is in government, it is also affecting the constituencies which are being led by the opposition. So you telling us to say, why are we not participating, or what, do we care about the people of Zambia? For us to form a political party, party, it means we care about the people of Zambia. Because if we didn't, I would have been quite like the Minister of Defense.
Okay. So, but why don't you throw in? Because at the end of the day, you're saying faith. But I feel it's not only about faith, it's also about experience. But how can you say you are confident that the people of Zambia are going to root for you when you've not even tried them yet?
You are talking about experience. Then the question that I'm going to ask you is, what kind of experience are you talking about? Because let me tell you something. An experience in politics isn't about elections. It's about how trained you are. That is the answer I'll give you. It's not about a political party having the experience. It's about a political party having people with experience. You are getting the connection there. When we put an MP in a certain constituency, it is not about the experience of the party. It will be the experience of a person or a candidate you're going to endorse in that particular constituency. And that is what you have to understand. So you're talking about experience of the party and everything. It is none of the business of the people of Zambia, because what we are only focusing on, it's about people of Zambia having enough resources for them to be running their own things. It's about the people of Zambia having food on their own tables. It's about the people of Zambia accessing education, of which they are failing to access now in other countries, in other constituencies, where we are seeing pupils are sitting on the blocks when we still have mukula which is being exported illegally. What kind of a government is that? And then you are saying we need to have experience. The experience is going to be tested in 2021, and when we win elections, I'll be able to call you to say, my brother, do you remember that day? And I'll be able to tell you to say, we have managed to do that, and the things that we are going to do are this. Failure for us to perform these things which we informed you when we are in position, you are going to have a right to vote us out.
All right, let's get to the actual story. We had your president on the assignment last Sunday, and the story that we gathered reads as follows. Democratic Party leader Harry Kalawa says he will not enter into an alliance where he is treated like a flower girl, escorting the bride and groom to enjoyment. And Kalawa says that Zambia has collapsed due to rampant corruption, which has become endemic. Mr. Kalawa said that he would only enter an alliance with other political parties ahead of next year's general election if it led to a meaningful, beneficial, mutual relationship. This tells me that your party is ready to enter an alliance. However, the benefit that they will get out of that particular alliance should be mutual.
Okay.
Do you want to elaborate more on what your president said?
On that point, what we have to understand is not all about moving out President Chagwalungu and replacing him with whoever. We need to scrutinize who that person is. What I'll tell you again is an alliance has got its advantages, broader advantages than benefits. Don't look at the example of Malawi. No, Malawi is not Zambia. And what we need to understand is, look, the current political parties that have agreed to an alliance, it's NDC and UPND. Now, the question that I'm going to ask you is this. In NDC, you have got corrupt leaders there. They are there. In UPND, of course, we also have corrupt leaders there. Now, what will happen if they merge to run this country? It will be a mess. We are going to have a cartel of corrupt leaders. We are going to have a cartel of people who don't know anything. So, you know, when we are talking about governance, we are not only talking about one simple thing. It's a broad thing, and people have to understand what we mean. What we mean is, we don't have to be in alliance with any political party. When you are in alliance with the people of Zambia, it's better. In 2021, what the people who are going to win are the people of Zambia and the Democratic Party. That's what I know. So basically, us trying to talk about the alliance, this and that, let us look at it from this view. What will happen if the corrupt leaders in NDC, the corrupt leaders in UPND come together? It is now, because what we are only seeing in the PF, it's one group of thieves, and the country is in this mess. Now, what if two groups are brought together as thieves now? How are they going to be able to run the country? It will be mess than this mess which we are seeing today. And the reason why we have refused to enter into an alliance, it's because we want to the benefit of the people of Zambia.
Lazarus,
Yes.
Let's look at popularity or having the numbers. I keep telling you about going into elections. I'm not trying to change the ideology of DP. No. I'm just saying, if you look at the kind situation, I'll be very honest with you. In Zambia, we have a situation of Israel against HH, and that's the truth about it. Argue with me. I know you're going to let me.
Yes.
Let me. Give me a fact.
The evidence of what you have said. You don't have. You are just speculating.
Evidence is having 56 members of parliament
When were those 56 MPs were in existence before GP was formed? So what kind of evidence are you talking about? Because by then GP wasn't in any existence.
You two, I should invite you for a debate.
And you are going to believe at this point. Let us believe this point. When those 56 MPs were elected, let us not run away from the truth here. The Democratic Party at that point was not in.
Was part of the corrupt group in UPF.
Well, which corrupt? Now let me tell you this point. When elections were held in 2015, that is when Mr. Lungu burst into power. You are not going to agree with that fact.
No.
Now, at that point, Mr. Ari Kalaba was the Foreign Affairs Minister. And then you have also to understand that when he was the Foreign Affairs Minister, how was the relationship between Zambia with other countries? It was perfect. Now, you talking about the people who are corrupt. Even in PF now, we have got people who are not corrupt. They are innocent. But it's because they are in that regime, they are being considered as corrupt leaders. You are saying that DP was in PF, which was corrupt at that point. Now, the question which I'm going to ask you is, do you have any evidence that Mr. Adi Kalaba had any corruption anywhere? He didn't apply for any tender in government. I know the facts. I know what I'm talking about. I have been on the ground. I know when I tell you something, I'm not only talking about the issues to say, no, let me just talk to the people of Zambia so that they can listen. No, I am able to talk with facts here. Do not be able to describe a certain grouping based on their actions in general to say these people are corrupt. Even in PF, we still have innocent people.
You're those who generalize the UPND and the NDC.
NDC. Yeah. I'm not generalizing because it is the alliance which has been formed, and that is why you saw in Ron they merged, and the UPND never adopted any member of parliament there, but they supported the candidate for NDC. So now, me generalizing, I'm not generalizing. I'm speaking with facts. Mr. Kambwile was speaking there to say the alliance is strong and kicking. Isn't that a fact? Maybe I should play a video for you.
No.
Yeah, so that is what I'm talking about. I'm not only talking about what you are talking about here. No, I'm talking about facts which have been on the ground. So it is not all about you saying that, no, our president was also part of the PF. Now, the question I'm going to tell is, Mr. Sata was part of the MMT. Does it mean that he wasn't allowed to form PF? That is not how we deal with issues. That is why I was saying, when you're talking about governance, it's a broad thing. Let us try to understand it from all angles. What kind of an angle are you looking at it?
Yeah. Now let's get to real issues now, besides the arguments about, who will win and what. You've described that currently our country is in a mess. Where do you think we've gone wrong as a country? Why have we found ourselves in this economic doldrum that we cannot seemingly come out of?
What I'll tell you is, government is the simplest thing to run because you employ people with qualifications and you pay them.
Okay.
And then you are going also to understand that the current government, their priorities are not to the people of Zambia, but to foreigners. Right. When you understand the loans that come from China, you are going to understand that machinery and part of labor comes from there. All the money also, when they get that loan, it is said that it has to be kept in the Chinese government. Now, the question I'm going to ask you is, was PF elected to serve the people of China or the people of Zambia? And also, not only that, we have got misplaced priorities by the people in government. There is no way you can be constructing things which are useless. They're saying you want to decongest Lusaka. That is not how you can decongest Lusaka, by building a flyover bridge. What they are supposed to do is let them identify provinces which have got less population. Let them take opportunities there so that people in Lusaka will be attracted in those provinces, and then from there they will start working in those provinces. Other than them creating another congestion on top of the congestion that has already been existing. That is not so. Where we have gone wrong, it's leadership entirely, because everything that lands in this country, it is being managed by the leadership that we have.
Andrew, can I come in?
Yeah.
Where we've gone wrong as a country is economically. That is we have a problem in the way that our economy is linked to. I agree with him. Is linked to the Chinese economy. Let's go to statistics. Some years ago, China was growing at about 7%. The moment China dropped to 3%, our economy dropped equally, because what we have is everything that we have is coming from China. So I think if DP, you probably, as you work on your manifesto or as you work on plans for Zambia, create opportunities like you are saying. Bring in a system that will give the ordinary Zambian me a job to do.
The system is already there. All it is waiting for is implementation. And the only way it can be implemented is when we form government.
No, we on that I agree with you. We need to move away from the Chinese.
Hello, good afternoon.
Economy.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. I do seem to have, a bad line there. If Mr. Chulu can fix the cupboards upstairs so that we can get proper, conversations with the people that are calling on the number that is scrolling down the screen. Yeah, maybe we'll get the calls. Hello, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you?
Very well. Who's on the line and where are you calling us from?
No, I'm able to get you, sir.
Yes, who's on the line and where are you calling us from?
This is Nawa calling you from Chelenge, Wapula province.
Mr. Nawa from Chelenge, Wapula province. Mulishan Mkwai.
Yes. I think my contribution is the big man in between the issue of facts. Do you know Mulishan Mkwai?
Mkwai.
The NDC has just mushroomed just now. So possibilities of it to win the 2021 is 10%, not even 75%. So maybe if they want to vote out the ruling part, maybe they can just try to have the pact with the UPND, the NDC, and them. That's when they can have a strong opposition. Otherwise, if they want to start more than 10 president in Zambia, nothing will work out. PF will still go to 21 general election. I think that's my advice.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming through, sir. All right. That was Mr. Nawa coming through from Luapula province, getting to give advice to the DP that you are still.
Okay, let me just respond to him. He's speaking from his point of view. And when you talk about us, Democratic Party, it is me who is in Democratic Party. Who knows what is going on in Democratic Party? I know. Okay, let's do this. If the people of Zambia are doubting Democratic Party, and I will just advise Mr. Nawa to join the Democratic Party today, because next year we are winning election. It is already known. So him saying that maybe 10% or what, we are winning 100%, no doubt.
Hello, good afternoon. Who's on the line and where are you calling us from?
Good afternoon.
Yes, who's on the line and where are you calling us from?
Yes, this is Simukoko calling from Simukoko.
Please go on with your contribution, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about, first of all, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, I want to talk about the issue of NRCs. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can get you.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. What I want to talk about is I think the CFO government let it be show transparent. There are lots of organizations that wanted to monitor the issuance of NRC. Like the CFO is trying to show. Now that is now since the beginning of conflict. Suppose the president and the opposition lose the election. Now that would be now the exit to say, what you did during the time of NRC issuance. I think the political pressure this time around is not so conducive. So I don't know what it's like we as you are forward.
Yeah.
Then one has been accused of making a court. Then they say, let's take you. Then one is refused. Why does it do? Definitely you are asking. Now in this case, what I'm trying to say is that why are they afraid of those organizations? Go and monitor, and they are not asking for such from the government. They are supposed to monitor those things. NRC. They will pay on their own. If those the issue of NRC is transparent, let them go and monitor. Let the PF, please let the PF shame the people because already there are lots of things. Why start your strong point? That is an issue. That is an issue. Please let the PF. There are lots of either frauding or trying to disadvantage others. So let them just see if it is really that's the issue of NRC is transparent. Allow those organizations and monitor and see themselves. There's nothing there. When we talk of breaking doesn't happen during the act of voting on the act of ballot. It can start way back. Now, what I'm saying, allow those organizations and monitor and see themselves that there's nothing, already now they are getting some suspicion by broking. Those are the issues. And again, I come to the COVID. With our leaders, let them show that COVID is real. The same doctor, if they are showing us that they get us penalty, stop gathering, then themselves are gathering. We as someone who is COVID. What is that? I say, COVID is not real. Already some people have a check believe that COVID is real. Because of what is happening on the political life. Because like COVID is on certain sequence, on certain activities, but on certain activities, COVID is not there.
Yeah.
Let them show us that COVID is really there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming through, sir. All right. Great. Interesting comments that are coming through from people. Before I can ask the other questions which people have asked, you finish your thought on Mr. Nawa from Luapula, who was saying that you only get maybe less than 10% in 2021 because you don't have teeth yet as a party.
Basically, he who feels the teeth is the one who is being beaten. And that is what these people need to understand. And we are not against the people of Zambia. I think it's only Mr. Nawa who is against the DP, and we are encouraging him to support us. And it's the only avenue which will stand up for the people of Zambia. I'm not only talking about Democratic Party now, no. What are the things that the people of Zambia want to change? We have seen capitalism in almost all the political parties in Zambia, except for Democratic Party. I think we are also going to testify to the truth that you have never heard on any news saying that cadres from Democratic Party have attacked this, have done that. You have never done that. It's because we are in full control. We tell our cadres, don't do this, don't do that. We are one people and we have to move together. We all preach peace in our party. We don't want any kind of conflict between anybody. That is what we always do. So now, if it means that, no, let us just vote out the PF and put on another president who feels is qualified to be there. And that is what Mr. Kalaba was talking about when he was on the assignment. He was talking about there are leaders in this country who think they have to be escorted to power. And they think it is all about them. Others have to be under them. No. When you are a leader, you have also to expect others to lead you. Because you don't know how things will be able to move under your leadership, and you don't know how the other person can be able to lead. Leadership isn't about age. It is about the ideas. However, they learn that, we can be able to do this and that. Let them come here. They sit here. I sit here. Let us debate on how we are going to bring out issues which are affecting the people of Zambia. We have to be action-oriented. That is why, even previously, when the PF was run by the president, Mr. Michael Satame, so rest in peace, there was zero tolerance to corruption. There was no corruption there because the leader was firm, the leader was strong. Now we have got a weak leader who doesn't even know anything about this country. Then the question that we are going to ask ourselves is, what about the issues that have been going on in this country? We are seeing people like Mr. Chitaruchirucha who went to the court. And then that is I'm now responding to the other caller who came in, who was talking about COVID-19. When Mr. Chirufya was there, we were able to see people flooding there, and they are able to do anything in a court premise. Now, what about a person who is moving on the street? How are they going to be free to this nation? And then about the COVID-19, once again, I think I came late. The COVID-19 issue has reached to this level because our leaders are not serious about this disease. When Madam Dora Sidia was sick, she said, I have taken all precautions to defend myself and have followed all health guidelines, but it is so unfortunate that I've attracted COVID-19. Now, the question that an ordinary Zambian should be able to ask is, if a minister, I think there's a...
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Mr. Kwalombot, is it you?
Yes, please. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good
Yes, good afternoon.
sir.
Yes, please.
How are you today, sir?
No, I'm fine. How are you?
Very well. What is your contribution today, Mr. Kwalombot?
I think I'll say something on that young man was appeared there.
Yes, yes.
As of now, the speech is not the most painful spawn in the place of fear. No wonder they are not being harassed, they are not attacking anybody. But I don't think that the youth at any time, the new PND has been, planned and executed their move to harass PM cadres. What happens is that they want to the youth to be on the here, and when they try to defend themselves, the police are on the side of the PM. It was the PF against UPND without any assistance from the police. I don't think that the PF will go scot free. How can we talk about next year? Well, I remember 2001, I think, when you said the other parties are but the main contest between Anderson Madoka of UPND and the Lady Patrick Manawata of the MMD. And if the elections were held today, Madoka would win, and he won the election. And coming to the 2016.
One entity, they would rather target parties that have got numbers. But besides that, let's come to, the expectations that people have, for DP when they form government in 2021, as we have an allowance of 4 minutes.
Okay, what the people of Zambia need to expect from us is this. Under the industry part, we have already told the people of Zambia to say, look, for this country to be able to advance and move well, we need to be able to create industry based on the favoring or favorable condition of a certain province. If you go in Western Province, we are aware that there is a lot of sand there, and we have to create an industry to be able to produce glass. When we do that, the people of Western Province are going to have what? Jobs there. In Lusaka, we can be able to come up with an industry which will be producing clothes. Today, as we speak, in countries like Zambia, we are able to see that we are importing almost everything. Everything that we have, we are importing. Even toothpicks, we are able to import that. That is why we want to focus on industrializing the nation. When we do that, we'll be able to create jobs. We'll be operating on the principle of an industry per village. Apart from that point now, we come to the issue of agriculture. On the issue of agriculture there, we only depend on maize. And that is why we are able to see even the prices are going up and the likes in that form. But the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how can we be able to establish or to come up with new ventures in agriculture? It's by making sure that we develop the things that have to be produced in that sector. That is maize. We globe things like cassava. Yes. Even when you talk about Ghana and Nigeria, in Ghana they eat fufu. That is cassava. In Nigeria they eat what we call in Nigeria actually they eat gari. That is cassava itself. So now we can be able to do that, and then we start exporting. When we export, the exchange rate between Zambia, between the Zambian kwacha and the US dollar will reduce. That is the only way this nation can be able to develop. And then when we talk about other issues that have to do with education, in education people have been left out. And by the way, we also have to understand, I think we are behind time now, we have to understand that these issues that are going on because the president is being favored by the law enforcement commissions. Last time when he was commissioning the bridge, we saw clouds floating there. The question that we have to ask ourselves is, why? Does it mean that he is the only person who wants to be protected in this nation, or it's every citizen according to the constitution? What we need to understand is the only way the police officers can be able to operate independently, it's by removing certain powers from the president of appointing the commissioners, the IG, and the inspector general. In short, that's what we are trying to say here. So when you say, okay, inspector generals will not be appointed by the president, you are also going to understand that the country will be able to carry out their duties effectively.
Mr. Simukoko, thank you so much for having joined us for lunch. this afternoon. Looking forward to have you again so that you can elaborate more about some of the vision, some of the plans and the vision that the DP has for the people of Zambia.
Thank you very much.
Again, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, just as before we go, I just wanted to say ZESCO have announced that they've closed down their head office to enhance COVID-19 preventive measures. So they are, as effective of today and tomorrow, the head office will be closed.
All right, thank you so much. Those that joined the conversation.